it's just interesting to see how, like, what the trajectory of comedy specials with Netflix, right? Because they were the spot, and for the bigger people, they still are, and a lot of people still find stand-up that way. But I mean, watching them now, it's literally like watching Comedy Central when Netflix got big, because Comedy Central, they were obviously the place for stand-up. Their half hours like made careers. They had all the biggest specials, and then their executives were cutting things without asking people and trying to change all this shit and not paying people what they deserve to be paid and things like that. So folks were like, all right, we'll go over to Netflix. And Netflix, of course, at the time, and in some respects still are like, hey, we'll take you and we'll pay you like whatever. Like we just need the content. But now, because Comedy Central, they fired, this was a little while ago, but they fucking cleaned house. They fired everybody. Netflix hired all of those people. And these are people that some of them don't have great relationships with comics already, and obviously they're coming from just this old world mindset that is not gonna work. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, it's already happening. Yeah. Like people are already just put like, I don't even want to fuck with that. We'll just go to YouTube.
And Netflix is fighting this. They're fighting for their space right now. Their life right now. Yeah, it's bad. So I hope they pull through, but
I think the problem will be sustaining like how large they are, because everybody used to watch the same stuff, right? Even, like even if they were super interested in it or only like partially listening half the time, because that's just what everybody watched. You could only watch what was out there. And then there was some, then there was like, you could watch the spin, like, I don't know, like this is just an example, but like sci-fi stuff, right? You couldn't watch sci-fi stuff on like basic cable back in the day, and then like every once in a while you could watch like Star Trek or whatever, like the shows and movies would come out. But now it's like, if you don't like, if you only like a specific type of content, like you just watch that, and you only need to watch that. You don't need to watch the other stuff. You don't need to worry about the other things. That's a fact. So like that's the problem is with Netflix too, is they're so diverse, but how long can they stay that diverse when like smaller now companies start to like only focus on specific things?
Right.
You know what I mean? Snatch up the big.
Yeah, well, yeah, because then like all these people that are watching, like
you have all these niche streaming platforms. And platforms
yeah, that niche is the perfect word for it. Yeah.
Whereas Netflix is kind of like everything, and it's kind of watered down for lack of a term.
Yeah. And
it's kind of like when it comes to sports, it's like when it comes to basketball, only focus on shooting, because there's always a place on the team for a shooter, versus if you can kind of shoot, you can kind of rebound, you can kind of play defense. It's like, well, you can kind of do everything. Where you're actually great or good at.
Yeah. It's all about specialties now across the board, as opposed to like a well-rounded anything.
Yeah. Jack of all trades, master of none. Boom. I've wanted to say that for a long time. I've never said that out loud before. I hear people say it all the time.
But what's interesting is obviously Netflix, it's like replaced Blockbuster. We're all on board with that. What's interesting is how long Blockbuster was a behemoth, how long Blockbuster was able to hold its spot and in its heyday, and then Netflix took that over. And Netflix does seem to be on the decline now. Its spot in comparison was so small because the world is just moving so fast.
It's a different time and age.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like before, Netflix could have had decades of a great run, and now there's just no way that's going to happen.
You want to know who's still kicking it? Is Redbox. I still see Redbox.
Oh yeah, Redbox is still out.
Yeah.